Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Now, they're words I've not spoken for a long time, mainly because real life seems to be getting in the way of such things, but I've really missed recording. I did make a promise to myself, however, that I wouldn't record a podcast until the garage was tidy. Well, it's tidy, so here I am, and rather fortuitously because today, the Big Finish anniversary story, The Light at the End, came out. Apparently, it features Doctors 1 to 8. I've avoided spoilers. I've avoided chat online. All I know is that there are lots and lots of Doctors, possibly including the first 3. I have no idea how they've done that. And a huge amount of companions. Now, when it comes to multi-Doctor stories, it's a bit of an odd bag. The 2 Doctors, it doesn't really make sense and creates a whole Season 6B theory, which isn't really worth going into. The 3 Doctors, the first of its type, very, very good, as long as you don't look too hard. Yes, it's a bit disappointing and it does look just a bit plastic, but it's, and I hate using this phrase, of its time. The 5 Doctors, my first exposure to multi-Doctor stories, and indeed the other Doctors, well, that one, there's a place in my heart for it. That's mainly because I was, 12, 13 at the time. So does that count? I guess it does. My favourite multi-Doctor story is yet another Big Finish, The 4 Doctors, which has lots of individual Doctor stories and is reviewed on another podcast. But I'm ridiculously excited because for me, this is my anniversary story. This is the name of the Doctor, but on audio, for me. This is what I've been looking forward to. So I'm going to let you listen to the trailer, something I've not listened to myself, and then I'll report back in a few moments or a couple of hours, depending on how long this is. Just for the record, I've got hold of the standard edition. There are many other versions out there, and I'm sure the vinyl edition would look absolutely lovely. But as my record player is 160 miles away, and I think the belt drive's not worked for the last 10 years, I'll be listening to the MP3. So, as far as you're concerned, back after this. As far as I'm concerned, speak to you in a couple of hours.
You know, old girl, sometimes I think you're probably the finest ship ever to have sailed the vortex. Oh, my word.
So now we know.
Now we know for sure.
But why are they here, Why are all the Doctors here?
Hello, my dear.
Doctor?
What is it, Nessa?
Here. Look.
In the doll's house, what?
Look through the window.
Come on, Ace! Run! Back to the TARDIS!
What's happened? Where am I?
You're in the TARDIS. How do you do?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, no need to. I'm the Doctor, and this is...
I am Leela. All of them? They were you?
Here we go, 3 minutes past 5.
1703.
The 23rd of November, 1963.
The 23rd of November, 1963.
59A Barnesfield Crescent, Totton, Hampshire.
Crescent, Totton, Hampshire, England. Earth.
Stop fiddling about and get on with it.
Charlie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll come back for you. You hear me, Charlie?
Doctor, no!
Appears to be some kind of warning.
All this cloak and dagger business? You're clearly up to no good.
By all means, please do come out to play, Doctor. I'm waiting for you.
So it's 2.5 hours later. I've just listened to it. And you know what? It was very, very good. From the absolutely storming, brand new opening music, worthy of being on the new TV show, all the way through to the gratuitous use of Mr. Briggs's son as a bit part player in the 50th anniversary story, it's fabulous. It's just fabulous. Yes, it's a fan-based, the sort of thing that we want, and yes, if you look at it too much, the plot's a bit weak, but you know what? We don't care. It's just superb. Yes, these are immediate reactions, and it was really genuinely lovely to hear all of the Doctors. Now, you'll probably be asking yourself the same questions I was straight off. Because it's Doctors 1 to 8, how are they dealing with Doctors 1, 2 and 3? Not as well as they could have, is my honest answer. I couldn't, with the exception of the second Doctor, tell who was being who. Other people who are listening will probably be able to go, yeah, that's fine, spot on, got it, fantastic. Now, I've not checked the cast list, so I may be about to show myself up something rotten. Second Doctor, voiced by, you've got it, Fraser Hines. Third Doctor and First Doctor, voiced by different actors. Now, they're hardly in it, but they are in it. I actually had trouble differentiating between the two. I could only really tell who was being who by the way it was written. Not who the characters were referring to, but the actual speech patterns and intonation was actually a very good semblance of the First and Third Doctors, but it didn't really sound like them. I know that Levine says he's got access to people who sound just like the other actors, which is debatable. I don't know the truth of the matter. But the guy doing the First Doctor on the re-energised version of Planet of the Giants, I couldn't tell the difference. If it's the same actor, then perhaps I'm just not with it. But that's a fiddly little point. The important bit is it a decent enough story? Yes. Now, the problem is with all of these stories where the Doctors meet each other, there needs to be an important and powerful threat. And the threat needs to be powerful enough to warrant all of the Doctors turning up. Here, there is indeed a proper threat. I'm not going to spoil it. From the trailer, you can probably figure out who the bad guy is. It doesn't exactly require the sort of intelligence that, well, it's not brain surgery, rocket science. It just requires you to listen out. The plot actually is the motivation for the characters meeting up, which makes sense. Some people will love this with all of their hearts. Some people will just find it as an acceptable tale. Yes, it's a lovely jaunt, and yes, we get to hear the Doctors interacting with each other, which at its core is what this is all about. The 4th and 8th Doctors are just brilliant together. Perhaps they're just reminiscing about living in Liverpool, and perhaps not. Each Doctor behaves in the way they're supposed to and completely obeys their own characteristics, and the differences and similarities shine through. Yes, the companions are there, some of which are just voices in passing. You couldn't have everyone. It is, after all, only a 2-disc story, but it is still brilliant. I don't want to spoil this for anyone. It is great. It is worth listening. It is worth buying. So if you have never experienced a Big Finish story ever, go and buy this. It came out last night. It crashed the Big Finish website. But you know what? It's up and running now. Go and get it. It's 1 month until the name of the Doctor. Why not experience Doctors 1 to 8? Go on. You know you want to. So until next time, and next time will not be too far off. Be seeing you. You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who is the property of the BBC and no infringement is intended. To contact the show or to find out more about Whostrology and my other works, click on the links on the Tin Dog Podcast homepage. Why not follow Blue Box Messiah, all one word, on Twitter to keep up to date with tour dates of my forthcoming Doctor Who comedy play. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. It's the 50th anniversary. Last year, you promised yourself you'd get a copy of Whostrology. You know, for yourself, for that bookcase. You dropped hints to your loved ones. You wrote letters to Santa. You even promised yourself you'd buy yourself a copy to celebrate finishing off all that annoying Christmas shopping. But it never arrived. So this year, why not give in and buy one of the funniest books you'll ever read? Annoy your family by chortling away at jokes that only you and a handful of other Doctor Who fans will get. Whostrology, it's the future. Stop hanging around waiting for the ebook to come out. There won't be an ebook. There won't be an app. Buy it today while stocks last. Click on the link on the Tin Dog Podcast homepage or visit any branch of Amazon. You know you want to.